Package just arrived from Amazon. Come and unbox this new glove with me. Hey guys, by now you may have seen through Instagram or any of my other socials that I got this new glove in the mail yesterday from Japan. This one I ordered maybe a week ago. It's come pretty quick and I'm super stoked with it. So today I'm going to be diving into the specs of this thing, explaining a little bit more about it, and then we'll go break it in. I'll show you how I do that. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so what we got is a Rollings Heart of the Hide. We've got the closed back. This one is 11.75 inches, 11.75. We got the croc skin on the closed back. We got the green and the gold. Everything pops really well. We've got a two-piece web. We've got the V-shaped laces there. Really like that web as well. Now, this one is a GR4 HMJ205FB. Now, this one is a rubber ball Heart of the Hide, and that's what sets it apart from the other ones that I've got. This one is used or designed for use in Japan with the rubber baseballs. So I think it is from Little League to high school. They use rubber baseballs in Japan as well as Social League. So this one is what's designed for that. The main difference being that the leather is slightly thinner and softer, and then slightly less durable, but you're still getting a really nice glove. Like pro specs, all of that looks exactly like a top tier Heart of the Hide, but it's just a little bit softer, a little bit lighter. So Rollings isn't the only company to do the rubber ball and then the hardball gloves, both of really nice build qualities and really nice leather nonetheless. For example, here we have my Zet pitching glove, my BPGT-55211. Now this one in the palm says Pro Model. I don't know if you can see that. I can put a photo up if we need to. But it says Pro Model by Zet. Now Zet's top tier, the ones that all of their pros use, the more expensive range of Zet is called Pro Status. So that's how you can tell that this one, even though it looks really lovely, really good, and is still built really well, the leather again is slightly thinner, slightly softer. Now, similarly to Zet, Rollings does a similar thing where instead of saying Pro Grade on the thumb, which is what you'll find in most Heart of the Hides, we have Pro Design. So just like the Zet saying Pro Model, we've got the impression that this one is made to look exactly like a top grain Heart of the Hide, made to feel similar to it, and is built with just as good quality. The difference being the leather, slightly softer, slightly thinner, slightly lighter. So in terms of durability, you might get a little bit less out of these ones, but they're still a really nice glove and for a really good price too. Considering that they are still a pro model build, you're getting these for a lot cheaper. So I really like what I've got here. I think it was an absolute steal. Really good glove. Now, if we were to compare a rubber ball glove to something that you might find in the States that's more on the softer end, but still a nice glove, will be something like a Gamer XLE. Head over to Ball Glove King. He has some videos on the Gamer XLEs. This is my Gamer XLE, and I was surprised to find, when I thought that this would come in relatively the same as this one. This one's very soft, but again, still looks and feels build-wise like a pro top grade glove. This one is very soft, as you can tell, and I was pleasantly surprised to see and feel when this came out of the box that it is still very firm. That's always a good sign when the glove is supposed to be softer. You can tell by the leather that it is a bit softer and that it will get to this point eventually. However, I do believe that it is still slightly higher quality than the American equivalent, which would be maybe a GG Elite or a Gamer XLE. So in terms of my personal opinion on this thing, I think it's sick. I love the way it looks. I really actually am enjoying the way it feels so far. Again, I haven't broken it in, haven't played catch or anything with it yet. It only came in yesterday. So now is the part where we go and break it in, and we'll see some before and after results, see how it feels, and I'll show you the process of what I do with this one. So let's go and dive straight into that. Okay, so just quickly before we head out there, just thought I'd show where it's at right now for a before. This is as far as I can close it. Now this is going 2 in the pinky. That's how I'm going to break it in. I'm going to try and do 2 hinges, but again, you can see it's pretty stiff at the moment. So let's go and see what progress we can make. Alright, so I thought I'd quickly go over what we need for this break-in. So first of all, obviously we need the glove. Now, ideally you have a pad, big leather pad. You can get those in the States much easier than here. So I only have a folded towel, which is a perfect substitute. Then you want your glove mallet. If you don't have that, you can make one by screwing a baseball onto the end of a screwdriver, something like that. And then some form of glove conditioner. Now I'm not going to do any hot water treatment or anything too much on this because, again, this leather is slightly thinner and softer as it is, so we don't need to break it down too much. We want to maximize the longevity. So we'll just be going in with some conditioner, then doing mallet work, and then some couch catch and real catch when we get around to that. Okie dokie, so I've got my setup here on the ground, just on my deck at the moment. Now, I'm going to start off with the conditioner. We're going to identify where we want the hinges to be. For me, it's going to be right here and right here, because I want a two hinge close, going more for a thumb to pinky, thumb to ring type close. So I want those 2 hinges to be working. So I'm going to take some conditioner. I'm going to apply the conditioner to those 2 spots, but also a general layer around the whole inside palm. I'm not going to worry too much about the croc skin, just because it's a slightly different leather, different feel. Doesn't need it at this point, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Just going to go around the palm with some conditioner to start off with. I'm just going to take it in on my hands like that. You could use a cloth if you like, but I'm just going to go straight ahead and put it in like that. I'm going to put it in the palm, on the hinges specifically, both sides, and then around there, up the fingers as well. Make sure we cover the entire palm. And then a little bit along the fingertop laces as well, because you want them to be nice and flexible. So we get that covered in some conditioner. And then a bit on the web. The web's nice and firm too. We'll get some break-in on that as well. So we'll get a little bit on the web. And then down below at the base of the web where the ball's going to be hitting the glove the most. Once that conditioner is applied, it'll dry gently over the course of the time while we're breaking it in. When we go in, I'm going to start working the binding, and then we'll go into working the entire glove around like this, trying to loosen up the whole thing, stretch out the fingers a little bit, and chuck on a time lapse of this part, and then we'll move on to the mallet. Alright, so that is the handwork stage. Now, I've gone and got a lacrosse ball here. Now, you can use a baseball, you can use any baseball size ball if you like, but I've gone to get a lacrosse ball because when we go to mallet the glove, there won't be any lace prints in the heel, nothing that's uneven. It's nice and smooth. Now, the reason I've got the ball is because we're about to go in with the mallet. When you start malleting the glove, it doesn't matter too much, but I'm going to do the lacrosse ball in there so that we can hold the pocket form a little bit around, so the glove's closing around the ball rather than flat pancake on top. So, start off with, again, we've identified that we want the hinge here and there. So, we're going to go in, put the ball in the pocket. We're going to fold the glove over to the first hinge that we want to use. We're going to start pounding away at that spot. Once you've done that for a little while, you're going to go over and find the thumb hinge again. You're going to fold it into that position as well. And again, pound away at that thumb hinge. After that, you can take the ball out We can work around the fingers, in the pocket, and then the web as well. Just sort of go ham on the pocket. There's not too much worry about misshaping the pocket, because after this we're then going to go back and form the glove how we like it ourselves. Alrighty, so after about 10 or so minutes, it's not quite the form that we wanted at, but I'll get there in a second. We can close it this much now. So that's as expected with this one, considering it is a softer leather. But yeah, it's good progress for about 10 minutes of breaking in. But yeah, that's looking really good. So we'll now head into how I want to form it. Okay, so as for forming the glove itself, what I want to do is a general flare of both sides, keeping the pinky a little straighter. I want it to be nice and open, a deep pocket, which we can create with the mallet as far as you want it to go yourself. So as much mallet work as you do on the pocket should get deeper and deeper, as long as it's a fairly deep model, which this one is. So for the flare, you don't want to, you never ever want to just grab the thumb at the very top and curl it. That'll create a very wonky looking form. So what we're going to do is where at this point where the thumb naturally starts to move, you're going to grab it gently and just bend that hinge, treating it almost like a hinge whether your glove wants to close. You're just going to bend that hinge. So there's a nice gradual flare form. Now at the top, I'm just going to pull the fingers apart a little bit and give them a nice straight look. And then the pinky side again, you're going to just find where that pinky wants to move naturally and just give it a general little push. So that is pretty much the method for forming it. Again, you can do it however you like. Would generally recommend a little bit of a flare, because when you close it, you then have the thumb, instead of closing at the top, just the points of the two coming together like that and leaving all of this space open underneath. If you flare the thumb a little bit, you'll have a much more seamless close. Alrighty, so after the break-in, this is the form we're kind of going for. General flare of the thumb there, slight flare but mostly straight on the pinky. Nice open look. Again, it hasn't messed with the back too much. And then after all the breaking in, we can fully close it without trying too hard and without squeezing our fingertips too much at the base of the fingers. So looking really good, no bubbles, all the welting's intact, none of the stamping's peeling or anything. Just goes to show how high quality these gloves are, even though the leather is a bit softer. So really nice, really happy with this. Alrighty guys, so that is it for the initial review and break-in of my new closed back. Hope this helped understand a bit more about rubber ball gloves and the differences and how they should feel and the quality and all that. But yeah, so that's as you've just seen, that's the finished product. Super happy with how it's turned out, and I do recommend these to anyone who's looking for a good quality but pretty budget glove, especially us here in Australia. It's a good option. So stay tuned for any upcoming videos. There'll be a surprise coming soon enough, and go and follow my Instagram at rebel_ballgloves, just like the YouTube channel, and head on over to my TikTok as well. All of the reels that I put up on Instagram you'll see on TikTok and YouTube Shorts as well. So hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.